Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Taylor. This is actually going to be my first solo commentary, so forgive me for any rookie mistakes that I make. For my first video, I wanted to do something a little generic, so what I'm going to do is rank the top 5 Call of Duty games, in my opinion. And I'm not going to say this is the end-all be-all list of Call of Duty games because that would just be ignorant. The thing that I most heavily weighed when coming up with this list was multiplayer, because that's the thing that I personally play the most, and I know the same goes for a lot of the Call of Duty players. So that's the thing that I factored in the most. Uh, just going to jump right into it. I'm going to start with an honorable mention. That is going to be Call of Duty 2. This was actually the first Call of Duty game that I ever purchased for the original Xbox. I was 15 when this came out. Didn't even have Xbox Live at the time, so I didn't get to play or didn't get to enjoy the multiplayer portion. But I do remember that the campaign was pretty awesome. All right, jumping into number 5, I'm gonna have to say Black Ops 2. This was a really great game by Treyarch. Things I liked: the Pick 10 system was a really good shakeup for the Call of Duty series at the time. It was just something that they really needed. They got the snipers correct in this one, if you ask me. This was coming off of Black Ops 1, where it had the sway right when you zoomed in because they were really anti-quickscope at the time, which don't necessarily blame them, but that's a completely different discussion that we're not going to go into now. Um, so yeah, I think they really nailed the snipers in this one. Things I didn't like: the campaign was just okay, if you ask me. The multiplayer maps were just average, in my opinion. There were some that were great. Some of them, though, that I just did not like or care for at all. Transit was a big letdown for me in terms of zombies, especially because when they first revealed it, it looked incredibly cool. It was huge. I remember they said that you could walk everywhere, but then turns out you can't do that. So that was just a little bit of disappointment. All right, number 4, World at War. This was the first Call of Duty that I got into the multiplayer portion of the game. Um, there's a really big nostalgia factor here for me because I remember me and my friends, we only had one copy of it, so we would be in my basement, taking turns every death, that kind of thing. So lots of fun there. This was the introduction of zombies, and you guys are going to learn that I freaking love zombies. It's one of my favorite things ever. Um, One thing I didn't like about World at War was the World War II theme. At the time, that was coming right off of Modern Warfare 1. So I remember thinking, you just had this great modern day shooter. So why would you go back to World War II? So just that kind of thing. Now I would kill for a World War II Call of Duty now, but that's a completely different discussion. Number 3, this was kind of the tough one here. I was deciding between two Call of Duties here, but I'm going to go with Modern Warfare 1. Things I liked: the multiplayer was revolutionary in terms of the Call of Duty multiplayer. The introduction of perks really, really changed things up. Just a really great addition at the time. So, and that really just changed the way I played Call of Duty multiplayer. Uh, Guns were great. Campaign was pretty cool too. I remember liking the campaign a lot. There's really not much I can say that I didn't like about this Call of Duty. This is one of the ones that really not much you can say bad about it. Number 2, Black Ops 1. Good perk balance. There weren't any perks that you said that you thought, bad perk, good perk, that kind of thing. Really, really good perk balance. Very interesting campaign, if you ask me. Now, I know this is a hot topic between Call of Duty players, or it was at the time when it came out, but I just thought the campaign was very, very intriguing. Things I didn't like: the FAMAS and AK-74U, when at the time this game was out, that just really bothered me a lot. Now I know all Call of Duties, they had a gun or two where it was just by far the most used gun, but to me those two were the worst offenders. The number 1 Call of Duty, in my opinion, is going to be Modern Warfare 2. This was the first Call of Duty where I just got super, super pumped, watching YouTube videos months ahead of the release, getting super excited. Went to my local video game store hours before launch to get in line. They were giving away free stuff. It was just really awesome. Good gun variety. Pretty much every gun in this game, if you ask me, was a viable option. Campaign was pretty epic. Spec Ops was fun. Now they really refined it from Modern Warfare 3, but at the time it was a really, really great addition to the Call of Duty series. Uh, Biggest thing for me though was the multiplayer fun factor. The multiplayer was just fun. That's all you can say about it. It was just lots of fun. I remember me and a couple of my friends, we would stay up till 4 and 5 in the morning. So just lots of fun. The maps were really great too, if you ask me. There were not very many maps that I can think of where I didn't like that map or didn't care for it or anything like that. Pretty much liked all the maps. Things I didn't like was the unbalanced perks in the game. You know, the commando, the danger close, the one-man army. Those really, really just did not work for that multiplayer. I think everybody can agree there, at least most people anyways. Only other thing that I didn't like about Warfare 2 was the short campaign. Now, I know most of the campaigns now are pretty short, but this was the first one where you were like, wow, that was a really short campaign. It only took a handful of hours, so. But that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. Go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, let me know where I was right, where I was wrong. So, yeah, thanks for listening, guys.